Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Deluise book series channel. I'm Christina, Kristina, Deluise. And today we're talking about X Marks the Scot by Kaitlyn Dunnett. Goodbye. Sorry about that. This was a really good book. A really good book and a really quick read. And I would like to ask you all to please like and subscribe to the channel. It means a whole lot to me. It really does. It's really important. Um, I don't know why people don't. I've watched other podcasts and stuff like that, and they'll have like 1,000,000 views and like 2 likes. So I know it's not, but please like. Please like. Please like me. Me like. Please. Alright, so X Marks the Scot by Kaitlyn Dunnett. Oh my god. Treasure Hunt and Genealogy. You can't get better than that. So let's just read a little bit. While pursuing auction items from the Chadwick estate, Liz purchases a painting of a bagpiper to add to her collection. And she overspent for it, by the way. She way overspent for it. Her interest shifts from art to sleuthing upon a strange discovery, what appears to be a treasure map in the back of the painting. Ooh. And this got a chuckle out of me. I did write. Why does this sort of thing keep happening to me? Karma, Margaret suggested. Liz made an incoherent sound and concerned effort to focus on the road signs up ahead. I am not, repeat, not going to fall into the temptation of trying to solve the mystery of Orson Bailey's murder, not even as an intellectual exercise. Canada's finest does not need the help of Liz McCormick, girl detective. I am nearly 40 years old. It's time I concentrated on being Lisa Ruskin, sole proprietor of Moose Took a Look Scottish Emporium, all grown up and fully capable of minding my own business. I don't believe you. I don't. My other point. Liz shook her head. Nothing's wrong. For a minute, that guy reminded me of someone, although I can't think who. That bothered her. As they walked to the car parked just down the block, she kept glancing in the direction of the stranger had gone. I hate it when that happens. Margaret slid into the passenger seat. Half the time it turns out that the person I was thinking of wasn't anyone I actually knew. The sense of familiarity was because he or she bore passing resemblance to some movie or TV star. And there's also, let me see what I bookmarked here. Her parents are coming back. And she's all worried because her parents aren't telling her anything. They sold their house and they're moving back to town and they're not telling her anything. And I had one parent die spontaneously. I mean, just gone. I had another parent die excruciatingly long and horribly, 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 horribly long. I've had other relatives with the Alzheimer's, and some of them the Alzheimer's is not too bad, but some of them don't forgot who I was towards, when they got older. They completely didn't know who I was anymore, didn't know family members. and that's hard to do with. And I hope people out there, um, I spotted this thing the other day about the people are getting elderly and the caregivers are getting less and less. It's hard. It really is hard. But on the back to my story here, like I said, I love genealogy, and a book that deals with treasure hunting and genealogy is my fave. And Sherry came up to stand beside her. What am I looking at? This is the Grant line, Margaret said, pointing to the right side of the chart. Liz was right. They lived in Yarmouth, Maine. Next, her finger moved to the far left. These are the Chadwicks. Liz was quick to catch on, especially when she realized that two lines met in the middle with the marriage of Edgar Chadwick and Euphemia Grant. Only one line extended down from their names, their daughter Allison. Margaret had recorded their marriage to Emmett O'Hare and the dates of their death. They had no children. What's this line with the question mark? Liz asked. The younger son went west and was never heard from again. His father, Norman Chadwick, had 3 children, a daughter and 2 sons. The daughter, Daisy, never married. The elder son, Albert, married but had no children. They were still living when Edgar Chadwick was running rum prohibition. But if we're to believe our friend from the Chadwick Historical and Genealogical Society, there never was any hint locally that Norman nor Albert were in on the scheme. They appear to have lived in genteel responsibility, doing good works and leaving their property to the town that was named after their ancestor, Eli Chadwick, who founded the place shortly after the American Revolution. The American Revolution! There's a couple of lineage societies that love to find new members who had ancestors who fought during the American Revolution. We have the Daughters of the American Revolution. We have the Sons of the American Revolution. You also have War of 1812 group. You also have Colonial Dames. There's tons of genealogical lineage societies out there. I love genealogy. Sorry. What was my other page here? This was so good. It was so multi-layered, but it was straightforward, and it was good. It was smooth. It was smooth running. It was easy to read. It was G rated, possibly almost G rated. Very no graphic, nothing. It was really good. Everybody knows everybody in the town, and I don't know why I wanted this page. Prohibition lasted from 1920 through 1933. Pete consulted an expert. He says the paper the map is drawn on was made in the 1940s or later. It looked a lot older than that. Maybe it got wet or muddy before it went into the picture frame. Sherry shrugged. Who knows? Pete says the expert, who didn't charge him, by the way, told him it's easy to identify modern paper because it fluoresces much brighter than older. Although all they had to do was use a black light on it. Paper from the 1920s or earlier would have had a darker appearance and dull in color. Interesting stuff to know when dealing with old stuff. And what did I pull this page for? When Margaret hadn't returned by closing, Lise tracked her down at the library. Dolores Mayfield was just locking up for the day. Grudgingly, she let Liz in. I suppose you've got it right, she said, since you're the one who started this. You found something? Liz could feel her eyes light up at the thought. Come and see. Margaret called from beside one of the library's long wooden tables. She spread out the chart she was making. It took up nearly the entire surface. The older Chadwicks were easy enough to trace using census records. Have you seen the 1950 census yet? It's out. 1940s, 1930s. And if you're doing genealogy research out there, you know how much we wish like crazy That 1890 census hadn't been in a fire. Someone could have made a copy. The town should have made copies. They should have made copies. They should have kept the originals. Shame on them. Come and see. Margaret called from beside one of the library's long wooden tables. She spread out the chart she was making. It took up nearly the entire surface. The older Chadwicks were easy enough to track using the census records, and I filled in a lot of the blanks with the help of the newspaper articles we got when we were in Nova Scotia. The obituaries were particularly helpful. Dolores Mayfield made a derisive sound. Obituaries are full of lies. Don't start, Dolores. Margaret warned the librarian. Shifting her attention back to lists, she added, It's only natural that the surviving relatives would try to make the deceased sound as good as possible. Speak no ill of the dead and all that. I just love genealogy. I'm a genealogist. I love it. Unfortunately, due to financial concerns, I had to take down my website. It was over 1,000 pages and over 20 years worth of work. Just gone. Just gone. So, please like my videos, please. Um, when Hazel Benedict Chadwick died in 1950, no one knew where her son Harold was. If he had had a daughter, whether he named her Benedicta Chadwick or something else, whoever wrote Hazel's obituary, probably her son Albert, didn't know about her. However, that doesn't mean there was no daughter. The difficulty lay in pinning down a location for our search. Birth, marriage, and death records are available, but it helps to know in what state, or better yet, in what county those events occurred. Yes, but do your search on FamilySearch.org and go search the person by the state. And then once you get the census records, and the census records will tell you the county, then you can go from there for birth, death, marriage, newspaper records, land records, cemetery records, the whole 9 yards. And remember, if you go back far enough, the marriage can be, most states, well, modern times, it's recorded twice, locally and state. In the olden days, I mean, like way back, and it like I said, like the 1800s, stuff like that, you could get it in 3 places. Right, the place where the minister was registered, city, town, whatever he was registered in, then the bride's location, and then possibly the state or the place where it took place. Those are the places where it possibly could be. So you have to do that. And I have one more page before I let this go. I don't know why. It was a really good quick read. It was really enjoyable. I like genealogy. I like a treasure hunt. They go looking for stuff. I like how she finds the hole in the wall. I'm sorry they took the house down though. I would have loved to have gone through that house. Oh my god. Don't you love old books? I was reading The Lost Apothecary. You gotta go check that out, Sarah Penna. Oh, check out that video. Excellent, excellent. Oh my god, almost excellent. Um, uh, it's mom. Bad jokes about Alzheimer's aside. I'm worried about her dad. She says she's forgotten to tell him about my phone calls. I must have left a half dozen messages. How could she forget them all? See, like I said, dealing with Alzheimer's and dementia is really, really hard. Now, when they get much older, it's one thing, but when it happens when they're younger, it's another thing, and it's heart wrenching for the caregiver. Because I know someone who went through it, and in the beginning was totally, absolutely aware of the fact that they were forgetting stuff. Later on, about 10 years further down the road, they were no longer suffering like that. Because knowing that they couldn't remember the stuff was very upsetting and very depressing. 10 years down the road, they'd forgotten everything and were no longer aware that they were forgetting everything. So I don't know how that goes. Um, I guess it's better not to know that you're forgetting stuff because it's scary. But going back to this book, I will have to read the next one to find out what happens with her folks. And but it was a really good read, a really easy read, a really quick read. 2 hours, little under 2 hours. It was good. It was smooth. It was really enjoyable. Got a couple of kicks out of it when she had the little thing with her husband, and her husband's like, "How come you didn't tell me?" And they soothed it out very quickly. It was like throwing the water on the fire, soothed that quickly. Pizza. It works. It really good. She's a really good author. I like her. I'm gonna have to check out the rest of the series because, like I said, I'm a series person. I read series. Um, so please check it out. Please like and subscribe, and check out all my other videos. If you're a Nora J.D. Robb fan or Andrea Penrose or Victoria Thomas or any of those guys, um, please check it out and please like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.